Hello and welcome to Inside Jacksonville, a production of the University of North Florida School of Communication and the CW17. I'm Jessica Lee. We're here each month with stories about life on the First Coast. From foam to the waves, custom surfboards are being shaped right here in Jacksonville. Inside Jacksonville's Kara Yellman introduces us to the local craftsmen behind the boards.
Before these surfboards ever reach the waves, they begin here, shaped by hand inside a Jacksonville workshop.
I've been doing this a long time. I started out as a sander. I worked my way up the ladder. Surfboards have always been really hard. It was super simple back in the day. It's actually simpler now because I've just done it for so long. And now I understand. I don't even think about it. I just come in. I'm super excited. Like, I wake up in the morning, I can't wait to get here. My business had already started. Like, I was a glass shop, so I glassed other people's boards. So the business was already there. The shaping part, the business morphed from a glassing business to a surfboard company. So I just ran with it. If it worked, it worked. If it didn't work, there was no plan B.
And for Mike, choosing Jacksonville wasn't just about the surf. It was about timing, community, and growing up around local businesses.
I grew up here. That was key. And I found my niche here. If you're doing what you're doing, but the business isn't there, you either have to figure out where the business is or you have to pivot and go do something else. For the amount of boards that I do, this town is perfect. And I love this town. It's like I grew up here, so it's all I know.
For him, every board carries its own personal connection, one he still feels every time he sees someone riding it in the water.
It still freaks me out. But I like to see somebody in the water, and if they're riding my boards, I'll paddle up to them and go, what do you think about that thing? That part of it's really fun. I like that.
At Wisnet Surfboards in Atlantic Beach, it's not just about the ride, it's about the connection behind it. Kara Yellman, Inside Jacksonville.
Wisnet Surfboards is located in Atlantic Beach, where custom boards are shaped for all surfers all across Northeast Florida. Next, surfers are putting their surfboards into action. Inside Jacksonville's Tristan Larrabee takes us to St. Augustine Beach, where one small store is making big waves in the local surfing community.
Since 2019, Where Salt Meets Soul has served St. Augustine Beach as a true one-stop shop for local surfers, offering clothing and accessories, surf lessons, and even a thrift store.
I got up in front of my kindergarten class. We had to get up and tell everybody what we wanted to be when we grew up, and most people said, I want to be a doctor or a firefighter or a superhero, and I got up and said I wanted to open a surf shop in St. Augustine Beach.
The Surf Stop offers a wide variety of surfing gear available for purchase. Everything from hats to shirts, custom jewelry, stickers and candles, and of course, surfboards. Right here inside this local surf shop is where St. Augustine surf culture really lives. It's a place where boards are shaped, stories are swapped, and generations of surfers cross paths before heading to the water.
Our surf community here is pretty cool because it's very diverse. You have so many sub-communities within the St. Augustine community. You have old-time locals, residents, surfers that have been surfing for forever. You've got the college community of transplant surfers. You got kids from all over the U.S., but a lot of kids from the East Coast.
More than just a store, Where Salt Meets Soul is a hub for the St. Augustine surf community. The store encourages donations, and customers are able to thrift used goods. Over the summer, surf lessons are offered to children of all ages.
Our focus is more on self-expression than it is on the sport of surfing. So using surfing as more of a way to connect with nature and connect with yourself. So we do surf art and music. So the kids get to learn how to surf. We have all levels of experience. You could be a complete beginner, not super comfortable in the water, or you could be a more advanced surfer, and we'll cater to you individually.
For more information about Where Salt Meets Soul and what they offer, visit their website at surfstopstaug.com. This is Tristan Larrabee, Inside Jacksonville.
And for the locals on St. Augustine Beach, Where Salt Meets Soul is a reminder that surfing starts with community. Try not to talk too loudly, as Inside Jacksonville, Sebastian Baez reveals the Bullstead, a modern speakeasy hidden in plain sight.
Tucked between two businesses and hiding behind red curtains, Jacksonville's Volstead Bar opens a Snip's Barbershop in the mornings and a speakeasy in the evenings.
Well, it was kind of a long process, something that we kind of been working on for almost 12 years. And timing was right, and me and the new owner decided that it would be a good relationship. And so we just came together, and we had a few problems with the city, but we worked those things out, and we got it all taken care of.
When prohibitionists banned the production and sale of alcohol through the 18th Amendment, speakeasies rose to prominence as a place to grab a drink under the radar.
I think the beauty of a speakeasy is that they all are taking a different approach to capturing that kind of playful, getting away with something kind of feeling that comes with walking into a bar that is at least styled to mimic those that were actually getting away with something. And it's exceptionally fun at the Volstead because we nod to that historical grounding, we nod to those historical concepts and the development of craft cocktails as it's happened over the last century.
During Prohibition, Jacksonville was a major gateway for rum running or alcohol smuggling. Posters of protesters fill the walls, and figures like William McCoy are memorialized here.
Well, I think one of the beautiful things about this establishment is that the bar tries to pay that homage to that era and has a feel of that era. And we've tried to do the same here at the barbershop in order to match.
The Volstead Act was named for the senator that put it forth, Andrew Volstead. And I think naming the bar after not only the act responsible for Prohibition, but for the gentleman who championed it, it's kind of an irreverent, a little bit in-your-face, cheeky laugh at what we do here. I think it reflects heavily in, the way that we treat our craft.
The Volstead continues to remind the city of Prohibition-era themes and drinks. This is Sebastian Baez, Inside Jacksonville.
Reveling in Jacksonville's history, the Volstead is helping remind the city of its story one drink at a time. Coming up, there's a new flavor rolling into Westside Jacksonville. We'll visit a new food truck featuring Puerto Rican cuisine. Also after the break, one local athlete is proving that perseverance pays off following a season lost to injury. You're watching Inside Jacksonville on CW17. Welcome back to Inside Jacksonville. Next up, we'll be heading to the campus of the University of North Florida, where Inside Jacksonville's Ryan Luke brings us the story of one athlete's 18-month-long road to recovery.
Coming off a 2024 season where she was named All-A-Sun freshman team, the next step in Alexa Washington's career at University of North Florida appeared to be stardom, not a journey to get back onto the court.
So last year, I want to say it was like July 29th-ish, I tore my ACL playing pickup like 3 minutes in, and my trainer knew from the start that's what it was. He didn't really want to tell me, but I also knew in my own head. When that happened, I think it mentally affected me, just like knowing I was out and knowing how many things I took for granted, and like I really wish I never did, because like being out a whole season and watching everyone play like hurts.
While many people would let an ACL tear deter them, Alexa Washington used the time outside of the sport to work on her mental health and learn things about herself.
Know your purpose, like outside of basketball, because like when something you love is like stripped from you, like you could easily go down into a hole. But like getting back on the court, you have to just motivate yourself every day. So like focusing on my mental health, like I would journal and stuff to make sure like I wasn't just soaking in like being injured and not playing basketball.
Despite the confidence she had in herself and her efforts to stay motivated during the process, fear still lingered in the back of her head.
I was really scared because I was like, it wasn't like a what if it happens again. It's kind of just like, what if I'm not the same person I was before? And I think that's something I still somewhat struggle with. But like one thing I did last game was tell myself, like, just breathe and let your mind be calm. Because when I'm holding myself to expectations, I'm just overthinking, and that's the last thing I want to do on the court.
Nearly 2 years post-injury, Alexa Washington has elevated herself above her previous form, leading the Ospreys in minutes played and assists, proving nothing will keep her from the game she loves. Ryan Luke, Inside Jacksonville.
Alexa Washington's story teaches us that it isn't the setback that defines you, but how you respond to it that does. What's a recovery without food? Inside Jacksonville's Lorelis Rea takes us to the west side to visit El Tripleton, a new Puerto Rican food truck bringing Caribbean flavors to the community.
Jacksonville Westside is now home to a new Puerto Rican food truck offering a taste of Puerto Rico through their dishes. El Tripleton recently opened, creating a space where the community can try something different, introducing a taste that's not commonly found in this part of the city.
So the motivation to set up this food truck was my family, my parents. You understand? We come with this concept from Puerto Rico. You understand? What is the tripleta? The famous tripleta, which is something very, very common in Puerto Rico.
Jacksonville continues to grow, so does the demand for more cultural food options in the city. The truck joins a growing number of small businesses, offering the community more variety and cultural experiences through cuisine.
Yeah, I feel like it's important because like people from other places, they can come here, they can come try different flavors they haven't tried. Like Puerto Rican food, it has like his own taste, I would say. So like they can come here, they can try whatever they want. If they like it, they're probably gonna like it.
This Puerto Rican food truck officially opened, marking the start of a new small business in Jacksonville. El Tripleton focuses on sharing the Puerto Rican cuisine and culture. Their specialty dishes are the tripletas and the papas locas.
For customers, it's not just a new place to eat. It is about seeing representation like this in their community. The truck is creating a space of familiarity for members of the Puerto Rican community in Jacksonville.
It feels good to have a Puerto Rican truck in Jacksonville. It feels like it brings me back to my childhood, you know, like that flavor of Puerto Rico. It hit good, you know what I'm saying?
While the city food scene keeps growing, Puerto Rican food options are still limited in this area. El Tripleton centers its menu around the island traditional street food. Customers can order Puerto Rican dishes without traveling far from home. The owner wants to create a space of unity among cultures.
Right now, here in Jacksonville, you don't see much, you know what I mean? What is the Puerto Rican food trucks and that kind of thing? You basically don't see them here.
El Tripleton is located in Jacksonville's west side, serving tripletas, papas locas, and pastelitos, with mofongo coming soon to the menu. The food truck gives customers a taste of the island right here in Jacksonville. Reporting Norelis Rea, Inside Jacksonville.
If you want to visit El Tripleton, it is located at 6938 103rd Street. For more information, you can visit their Instagram page at L_Tripleton. As more people turn to Facebook Marketplace to buy and sell items locally, safety concerns are also on the rise. In Jacksonville, police say some transactions have turned into robberies. Inside Jacksonville's Osarme Uwaifo has more on how you can protect yourself.
Scrolling for a deal might seem harmless, but meeting a stranger from the internet can quickly turn dangerous. JSO Public Information Officer Christian Hancock says incidents tied to Facebook Marketplace are something the city continues to see.
It is an issue that we have seen here in Jacksonville, and we would like to let the community know that there are some things you can do to protect yourself, and that's why we're here.
Hancock says that crimes aren't always minor.
Typically, it's the robberies, the armed robberies, the thefts. They do get violent, just hitting, whether they've got a weapon or not. Somebody gets hit, somebody gets battered. Those are the ones that we see.
That's why law enforcement urges buyers and sellers to rethink where they meet.
We would always recommend you or suggest that you use one of our locations. But if you can't, again, somewhere very populous, very open, where you can see things coming from far off, as well as there are other people around.
JSO offers their 6 substations just like this one across the city as meeting spots. And as an extra layer of precaution, some Facebook Marketplace users have safety hacks of their own.
If I check the reviews, I make sure that I text them first. I ask as many questions as I want, because if they can't answer them, I'm not coming out to you. I'm not even going to waste my time.
Communication is key, and so is never going alone.
I try to take at least my girlfriend or someone I know, my dad, I'll pick him up, my sister, anyone, just for the buddy system, just for the sake of having someone as a witness.
Others say they even change how they present themselves online.
Typically we'll do it through either my dad's Facebook or my dad's alternative Facebook, my boyfriend's, like someone who's a man, to be honest, just so no one gets like a idea or two. Doesn't really matter what I'm selling.
Safety experts say, in addition to meeting in public, buyers and sellers should avoid sharing personal information, trust their instincts, and never feel pressure to complete a transaction. With online marketplaces continuing to grow in popularity, officers like Christian say a good deal is never worth putting your safety at risk. Osarme Uwaifo, inside Jacksonville.
JSO says if you ever feel unsafe during a transaction, leave the area and call police. After the break, is social media influencing the way we eat? We'll take a look at how nutrition trends are impacting our community. And one Jacksonville craftsman is turning wood into more than just fine furniture. You're watching Inside Jacksonville on CW17. Welcome back. Inside Jacksonville's Jason Matta introduces us to a Jacksonville local who says woodworking has become more than a hobby. It's become a way to slow down and reset.
People have many different ways that they like to unwind. For Jacksonville local John Lemus, it's woodworking. He started a few years ago, around 2018, when he had time to fill and wanted something new to focus on.
It was about 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. I always wanted to build stuff, all right? Hadn't really done much with wood at all right, other than, I don't know, somebody, put a shelf up or something like that, there was a bunch of time in my life that I needed to fill up, and, like I said, the PGA Tour was out.
At first, woodworking was just a hobby, but one project turned into another, and pretty soon, people around him started asking him to build things for them.
But one of the first pieces of furniture was for my wife, and she goes, I would like to have a farmhouse table. I took that, sketched it up, and I made this farmhouse table. I mean, it's beautiful. We still have it, all right, as a matter of fact. And it was that point on, I said, you know something? This is really fun. I think I can make a business out of this, all right?
The more you talk to John, the more you realize this isn't really about the furniture or the pieces that he makes. It's about what woodworking gives him, especially on the days where life feels a little out of control.
It's because, I can stay focused on something that is well within my control, all right? There's a lot of stressors in life that, you think you have control over, but you really don't. When you have your hands on a measuring tape, well, it's all you. All right.
John jokingly calls this sawdust therapy. And in a world where almost everything feels like it's out of control, woodworking is one place where John can slow down and build something real.
Yeah, I call it sawdust therapy. I tell the neighborhood all the time because they see me and they see me working and they say, wow, you work hard. I said, no, this is sawdust therapy.
Now, John's building things people will use for years, maybe even generations. And for him, that's the most rewarding part. For Inside Jacksonville, Jason Mata.
Lemus says woodworking reminds him that even when life feels unpredictable, there's value in slowing down and building something that lasts. Inside Jacksonville's Evernie Benjamin will now talk to us about nutrition and dietetics media and how it's affecting the community.
Nutrition and dietetics media has increased over the past couple of years. With constant news about diets, what foods are healthy, and weight loss supplements, it's hard to decipher what to listen to. I asked a nutritionist what his thoughts were on the situation.
In one way, that's a good thing because we all have access to nutrition information. However, it's not always good because there is so much information and there's not always credible information.
To combat misinformation as such, there are many different programs dedicated to helping others learn about nutrition and even providing meals. Nourish to Flourish is one of them.
So Nourish to Flourish is a nutrition education program. We focus on children between the ages of 8 to 13 in under-resourced or food insecure areas in the Jacksonville area. We provide nutrition education, cooking demonstrations for children, and we also do gardening education. So we build raised bed gardens at schools and also after-school programs.
I asked the student director of Nourish to Flourish about her thoughts. She agreed that it is much easier to spread misinformation with the increase of nutrition and dietetics media.
With so many people talking about it, you also have a lot of misinformation being spread, and it can be really hard for the average person to sort through what is evidence-based and what is just straight-up misinformation.
The students working with Nourish to Flourish gave some good insight into common mistakes with those trying to eat healthier.
I think I noticed a lot of guilt associated with healthy eating. Maybe it's wrong motivators, people getting motivated out of guilt. I think the motivation is coming from a negative place when their motivation should be coming from a positive place.
Here at the Ogier Gardens to discuss their recipes and get some student suggestions on how to eat healthier, avoiding those dieting trends and other common mistakes.
Especially if it being Florida and us having like a variety of different like plants and stuff, we want to be able to incorporate it and make sure that students like know a way of like how to eat, certain like ways that they can like try out new recipes, all that fun stuff that's just healthy and nutritious. To have like 1/3 of things, making sure you have your protein, making sure you have your carbs, and like and that vegetables, and any way you can incorporate it.
Evernie Benjamin, Inside Jacksonville.
For more information on the Nourish to Flourish program, visit the Nourish to Flourish page on the University of North Florida's website. Flourish into a new workout plan as Inside Jacksonville's Alyssa Bice visits Jet Set Pilates in Jacksonville Beach, where fitness is met with community, creating a workout that goes far beyond just physical movement.
Just off 3rd and 14th Avenue in Jacksonville Beach, Jet Set Modern Pilates was founded by a mother and daughter duo, and it creates a wellness space for people of all experience levels in the community.
Here at Jet Set Pilates Jacks Beach, you are not going to find an easy workout. It challenges your strength, your focus, and even changes the way that you think about movement.
Most people think that Pilates is just stretching and flowy versus, I guess an actual workout. It's intense, but it's intense in the best ways. Safety is huge. We explain the reformer in the beginning of class, especially for newer people. We provide the stability pole, the high bars. If you need the extra support, this is what you should do. And we provide lots of modifications.
Reformer Pilates offers both a physical challenge and a mental reset, pushing people to reconnect with their bodies and their minds.
Yeah, Pilates, I feel, helps with mental health a lot. When you're in here, I think that a lot of people are really locked in. We tend to, day-to-day life, think about the next moment. And when you're in here, I think you're just really focused on your movement and the way your body is moving and, the directive cues.
At Jet Set Pilates, there are only 12 reformers per class, so instructors are available to give you personalized instructions and corrections.
Don't be intimidated. I think Pilates in general is intimidating if you haven't done it before. The reformer looks a little scary, but it's not. Our instructors go over everything in detail, and we want to make you feel as comfortable as possible. And keep up with it. I know it's tough for the first little bit, but it gets better, and you will see results so quickly if you're consistent.
Through community, strength, and wellness, Jet Set Pilates is redefining fitness in Jacksonville Beach. This is Alyssa Bice, Inside Jacksonville.
For more information on the Jet Set Pilates or to book a class, visit jetsetpilates.com. Well, that's a wrap for this edition of Inside Jacksonville. If you've missed anything from today's program, just visit our website, unftv.com. and look under the Digital Journalism tab, where you'll find expanded versions of our stories, photos, interviews, and other extras. Again, that's unftv.com. You can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and X, and YouTube at InsideJacksUNF. From all of us here at Inside Jacksonville, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next month right here on the CW17.